McDowell.
Thank you, David. Keep going. How are we all? Are we well? How nice to see you all, and it's so well attended, this little Q&A. I remember last time we had a bit of fun, so now don't forget, we only take intelligent questions. And I am the arbiter of those questions. Sir, you seem to be very anxious to be the first. Are you sure? Please stand up. That is a very intelligent question. Any other questions? Well, we are all done. Yeah? Let's see. Anybody? No, this is two. All right. There you are. You're pretty enough. With who? Oh, Rob Zombie. Well, you know, he's a bit of a maniac, isn't he, really? No, Rob is a sweet, sweet man. I mean, he's the antithesis of what he looks like. And actually, I was talking to my Scottish friend in Scotland on the phone and saying, she said, and what are you doing? I said, well, I'm doing this film with Rob Zombie. And she said, ooh, if I had a name like that, I think I'd change it. I said, no, darling, that's what he changed it to.
So first off, what do we have over here, sir?
We have a replica time machine from the movie Back to the Future.
Excellent. How exactly did this come about?
Well, it was a childhood dream. Saved up my money to buy the DeLorean stock at first. Had it for about 14 years, and then saved up for those 14 years to convert it to a time machine.
Now that is incredibly detailed. As we can see, you got the Mr. Fusion stuff, you got a lot of props inside, a lot of intricate detailing on the inside there. How did you put all those details in there?
Watched the movie about 1 million times, and I actually did have some help by the gentleman named Video Bob. He's out of Dallas, Texas. He builds time machines, Ghostbuster, Echo 1, Knight Rider. So he actually helped out with a lot of the parts.
Excellent. And I see it's you got your inspection sticker over there. Was there a reaction when you took it in?
They honestly don't even know what to do with that. They just basically give me a sticker. They check a few things that they have to, but at the end of the day, they just give me a sticker.
Roundabout theater at the time, and I was doing two character plays. You know, love Italians from the band. I guess the place where you can't get a bad meal is Italy. Traveling around Italy.
Hi, I'm here with R2D2 and what's your name?
Jesse.
Jesse, nice to meet you. I take it you're a friend of R2's?
Mm-hmm.
How'd that come about? How'd you meet?
Well, my dad, me and him made it.
Oh wow! How long did it take?
About a year.
And when did you decide to make him?
Well, my dad had this dream. Well, me and him were Jedis, and then he had this dream.
And was it a kid, or is this all custom made?
All custom made.
And I see you got the remote over there. Is it hard to control him?
Yeah.
Yes. I love every minute. Kick his ass anytime. But Shatner, you know, is a lot of fun. Actually, I had a lot of fun with him. And, you know, you can tease him and he can laugh. You know, it's not too serious. I mean, I do remember them, though, they both had one arm. They were wrestling me on the top of this bloody mountain. And, you know, they're pulling me, one's pulling in, and I went, stop! They suddenly, and I went, oh my God, if your fans could see you now. They were like two big girls' blouses. Patrick Stewart in his muscle suit, standing on a box in high heels. And then Shatner with his wig and his belt to try and keep his guts in control. Absolutely hilarious.
So the new Star Wars movie's coming out, and you know, there's a lot of talks about who's going to be in it, what's going to be in it. There's been some rumors going around that you're kind of getting up there, maybe a little bit too old to be in it. Or what do you say to that? Oh, all right. Well, I'll move on then.
I've been eating Ethiopian food for 45 years. You know, since I was a student. You know what I'm saying?
Funny. There's a scene in which Ash, played by, I don't know if you guys know Bruce Campbell. Ash here pulls me out by the legs out of the cabin, and none of us had really prepared for that. And as you might remember, they actually used the exact soundtrack as I'm being clunked down the steps, and I was going, ah! So we did that, and Sam said, yeah, I'd like to do it again. I said, I'm not going to do it again unless you have some sort of padding for me. Well, we had no padding. There was no medic on the set or whatever. So Sam said, I got it. You know what we're going to do. So he goes and gets a format from the car, from the Delta 88. And he says, put this on. I said, well, how? He goes, give me some duct tape. So they duct taped it around my back and around my front. Well, that worked. We actually did 2 more takes. That worked for the padding. That was much better. The problem is taking the duct tape off.
But I love Spanish food, man. Paella, oh man. Even in Barcelona, Sevilla, you know.
Yes!
You've been in a staggering number of films, but you've also done a lot of animated and video game roles as well.
Yes.
How do you prepare for voice acting differently than you do on camera?
Oh my God. Well, you know, I get up. I clean my teeth. I have a shave. And then I eat breakfast. And then hopefully I go to the recording studio, and then I open the script, and there are these words. And I just read them. We were trying to find a way to do this rather difficult scene of, you know, bursting into this poor writer's house, beating him up and raping his wife. Yes. Sometimes I play these characters, because my mother said, why don't you play a nice person? Because, Mom, they never asked me. Anyway, we were trying to think of ways to do it, and Kubrick changed the furniture. We sat there for 5 days. Only somebody like Stanley Kubrick, of course, could do that. Otherwise, you just have to do it in the day, and that's it. And on the 5th day, he came over to me and he said, can you dance? That's all he said. And immediately he said that, I leapt up, went into that scene, ad-libbed the whole thing. He put me in his car, drove back to his house. He bought the rights, Singing in the Rain. I think it was $10,000. And we came back, and then it took another week to shoot. That's the way it is. A postscript to that, a year later, I come to Hollywood to the studio, and my minder at Warner Brothers said, would you like to come to this party? It's going to be crammed with movie stars in the flats of Beverly Hills. I went, oh yeah, I'd love to meet some movie stars. So we go there, and says, oh, you won't believe it, but Gene Kelly's here. Great, I'd love to meet him. So he had his back to me, the guy tapped him on the shoulder, and as he turned, he said, I'd like you to meet Malcolm McDowell. And he turned back and walked away. Cut me dead. Well, can you blame the poor man? The moment, Gene Kelly was magical. What a great artist he was. Yeah, really. And honestly, it was only because in my mind, Euphoria, as Hollywood has given us this propaganda, and what was Euphoria? It was Gene Kelly swinging around that lamppost and doing this down the street, splashing in the gutter. And so that's why it came out of my mouth. It wasn't even that I thought about it, it was just instinctive. And anyway, 40 years later, I'm telling this story from the Academy, and afterwards this lady came up and said, I'm Gene's widow. Gene wasn't upset with you, Malcolm. I said, really? Well, who was he upset with? She said, he was really upset with Stanley Kubrick because he hadn't been paid. And I went, my God, there's quite a gang of us that haven't been paid. Yes, Princess Leia. How do you get those buns to stick on your ears, darling? Are they real?
It's a wig with a lot of bobby pins in it.
Great. I must get one myself. What is your question, darling?
While we're on the subject of singing in the rain, I wonder if maybe you could read us a few lines of the song.
I didn't hear that. You want me to sing? Singing in the rain. You are insane. I'm singing in the rain. Just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling. I'm happy again.
I love to cook too, you know, so